Hey guys, this is Steel Griever, or Griever just for short. I got a WifiBattle here with Kunai Naruto 3. I hope I pronounced that right. This will be my first Wi-Fi battle, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I lead off with my Torterra, he leads off with an Electivire, and I go for the Leech Seed while he goes for the Ice Punch, thinking I could take a little bit more damage than I did, but I wish I would have set up Stealth Rocks for this fight, and you'll find out why later on in the video. After Leech Seeds and Leftovers, it still won't put me over half HP, sadly, so I'm gonna die from another Ice Punch. So predicting it, I send out myself, or my Blaziken, to take the Ice Punch, and I take that pretty nicely, I think, but he gets the Freeze Hacks. And I was like, oh, of course. So after some Leech Seed damage, I call back my Blaziken, and I send out my Hawkeye or my Staraptor, get the Intimidate off, predicting the Earthquake on my Blaziken, and I predicted right, so that was good on my side. I get a little bit more Leech Seed damage off on him, so the Leech Seed damage is building up. He brings back his Electivire and sends out his King DDD, Slow King, and I just went for the return for safe damage without recoil, and it does a little bit, about a third of his HP after Leftovers. But so I bring my Staraptor back, and I bring my Torterra back out, hoping to set up Stealth Rocks now, because I know Slow King is pretty slow. But after he sets up with a nasty plot, and after seeing Leftovers, he's faster than me. And it's like, crap, so I'll just leave Torterra in there as fodder to get another safe switch in, so I don't get my Stealth Rocks up, which you will find out later in the video really would have helped with a lot of switch-ins and stuff. So I bring out my Umbreon, and I try to go for Toxic, but I missed. And I'm actually kind of happy I missed, because he goes for the T-Wave, forgetting about Synchronize. So I get paralyzed, but he gets paralyzed. So it's alright on my side. And that paralyze will help me later on in the fight here. I go for a Mean Look so he can't escape, because this is a Mean Look baton passing Umbreon. He goes for the Surf, and I believe it does a little bit, about half damage, yeah, just about half damage, but after Leftovers I get a little bit back. He gets Leftovers health back as well. I go for the Wish, setting up a Wish. He's going to go for an Ice Beam, but he gets the Parahax, he said. So that's kind of nice on mine to get the lefties. And then I go for the Baton Pass to hopefully get on, but then I get the Parahax, and it's like, oh, come on. He gets up another nasty plot, so he's +4 in special attacks. So I get the Wish off of my Umbreon, which actually in the long run kind of helped me, and you'll find that out later on in the fight. So I finally get my Baton Pass off, and I send in my Blaziken to take whatever he's going to do, and he goes for an Ice Beam, and after a +4 nasty plot, I actually think that I take my Blaziken takes it pretty well. And I get the first turn Thaw, and I go for I get the Thunder Punch off, and I was like, yes, thank you. But it does a little bit more than half, and I was like, oh, I was hoping for a little bit more, and I was hoping for Parahax, but I didn't get, so it's going to be a 2-hit KO on my Blaziken. Oh well. He gets some leftover damage, and I can't remember what I do here. I bring back out my Staraptor, and the Intimidate's useless on it, but I won't go for the Brave Bird, hoping that with the 120 plus stab and everything, it'll be enough. But you'll see the many. He lives with 5 HP, I think is what he said, and but he gets the Parahax, so that's kind of nice on my side. But you'll see that entry hazard would have been very nice. He sends out a Rampardos, and I go for a free Brave Bird, thinking he was going to keep his Slow King as Death Fodder, and I do about a quarter of his HP, but I get hit with recoil, so I bring him back, and I bring back out Umbreon. This is where he sets up a Rock Polish. This is where that Wish kind of came in handy, where it healed my Umbreon to full health. He goes for Stone Edge, and it does a little bit over half. And I set up a Wish. Now it's going to go back into Staraptor for to heal it up, but he goes for EQ as I go for a Mean Look, I believe. Nope, I go for the baton pass. And I accidentally misclicked and went out to my hair cross, and it's like, oh crap, and the wish was useless. He goes for the Zen headbutt, and right now you're going to see the epicness that is hair cross. Yeah, his HP is going down, down, and I'm like, crap. 4 HP. He loses 4 HP, and I get the close combat off, and I was like, yes, there goes that Rampardos, because my hair cross is scarfed. And I thought I would outspeed his Rampardos even after the rock polish, since I have 252 EVs in speed, but he still outsped me. He then brings out his Weavile, and I was like, crap, ice shards. So I just go for the close combat, and I go before him. And I go, what? No ice shards? And he goes, no, he was gonna try and set up a sword dance on me. And I was like, oh, well, there goes Weavile. That was a nice sweep. So my hair cross with 4 HP is taken down 2 of his Pokemon, and I was like, yes. And he sends out his Electivire, and I was like, awesome, with my Scarf I'll be able to outspeed it and take this out. So I'd go for another close combat, and my hair cross is doing amazing. But there's number 2, where he lives with just barely a sliver of HP, and he goes for a Thunder Punch and kills off my hair cross. But my hair cross did an amazing job there. So I go back out to my Staraptor to get the Intimidate off, and I just go for a U-turn knowing he'll kill his Electivire or do some damage. He brings out his Slowking, and I'll easily kill it with the super effective and Staraptor's amazing attack. So then I go out into my Lucario to kind of scout what he's going to do, and he brings out a Typhlosion. I'm like, crap, with Umbreon, Lucario, and Staraptor as my only thing. If he's a rash nature with a Scarf, I'm really screwed. So I bring out my Umbreon as Deathfire to kind of see what he locks himself into. And he goes for a Focus Blast. And I'm like, okay, I'll go into Staraptor, because if he's Scarfed, we'll have a speed tie, and I just gotta hope that I'll win. But he actually brings it out and goes into his Electivire to see what I lock myself into, and I just go for the return for safe damage, so no recoil. So I take out his Electivire, and then he brings out his last Pokemon that I haven't seen, and it's an Altaria. And I go for the return, and after the damage and everything done, I didn't run any calcs, and after seeing what it did, it almost did half HP, and he goes for a Dragon Dance. I'm like, crap, I hope I'm faster, and I am because of my Scarf. And I go for the return, and this is where Staraptor finally pulls through. He gets a crit and takes out that Altaria, and I was like, yes, thank you. Now if I can just win the speed tie with this Typhlosion and his Scarf, everything will be good. So I go for the return, so I thought I won the speed tie, and he goes for the Eruption, and that'll take out my Staraptor with his low HP, even though he's at half HP. But right here, this is something that tells me I'll outspeed his Typhlosion. He gets leftovers, and I know that my Lucario will be able to outspeed him, so I just go for an Aura Sphere, because I thought I would have to go for a Vacuum Wave in order to do damage to him to outspeed him. So I go for an Aura Sphere, and guess what? Number 3, where he lives with just a sliver of HP, he goes for an Eruption, but because his HP is almost 0, and even though it's super effective, he barely does any damage to me. I think he did 50 damage to me. So I just go for an Aura Sphere, and that will finish off the Typhlosion. That was a great match, and I hope to have a rematch with you sometime. Comment, rate, subscribe. See you guys all later. Bye.